All right, people, welcome in. It is now I can't believe it, Tuesday. It is January the 28th. It is another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show. It is powered by WagerTalk.com, and this esteemed panel is growing by the minute here as we have the legend, Mr. Tony Finn, was nice enough to wake up on a park bench and join us. Dr. Chuck is back in the house, Dr. Chuck RX, SportsMemo.com. Below me, Mr. Vino, Rob Vino in the house, also SportsMemo.com. And there he is. All you guys told us he was in jail and he needed bail money, but nope. Here he is. Ski is here, man. Mr. Hakeem Prophet in the house with us at Ski Prophet, WagerTalk.com. Guys, the NBA is what is on our mind. Interesting card here tonight as we've got 7 games getting ready to go off. Quick recap of last night's plays there, and we'll hold off on Tony's Utah Jazz for just a minute, and we will congratulate Mr. Rob Vino there. Rob, best bet yesterday was, in fact, Sacramento-Memphis. We looked at the over. You were pretty damn adamant about it, so congratulations there. One of the craziest games I think we will ever see, and I think there is a reason why the Minnesota Timberwolves suck ass, and that was on full display last night. But congratulations there, Rob. Well done last night.
Yeah, you got to depend on teams sucking ass when you need overs,
yes.
Joe. So, can't play.
Yeah.
And you got to depend on the head coach to pull everybody out with 1:40 left.
Brilliant.
So that the other team can catch up. But that game was headed over anyway. But the comeback by Sacramento was amazing.
Yes.
The De'Aaron Fox play to end the game. The shooting by Buddy Hield. So we didn't even need overtime, Tony. I know that's one of your rules. Did you need overtime to get over? We didn't need it. Buddy.
Nope.
No, we had a minute. We had a minute 30. A minute 30 to score 2 points, and it was like 50 points scored.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was absolutely crazy. I mean, Ski, we missed you on the show yesterday, but of course you're in the L.A. area there, so it's been obviously a couple of it's been a rough 48 hours, 72 hours here. There was going to be a game. L.A. versus the Lakers and Clippers tonight, but they have decided to go ahead and postpone that. What is the mood out there? Is it most people okay with the fact? A lot of people wanted the games canceled on Sunday. That wasn't going to happen. So are people okay with the fact that they're postponing this game tonight?
I mean, nobody's mad. We understand why. Lakers just want to help take care of whatever they want to do with Vanessa or whatever they have to do for Kobe. So we understand. We're just sad. That's it. We wanted to beat on the Clippers. We felt like it was an easy win, but we're just sad. So that's it. And I drove that morning, too.
When you play in the same building, scheduling, I think, will be a little bit easier there down the road to be able to get this game made up, no?
Most definitely. I mean, it's just very easy any day. And I want to say I drove that morning. It was hella foggy, man. So I don't know how that happened. I don't know why I even went up.
You and just about a lot of other people are unfortunately still trying to look for answers and find answers as to how, why, all of that good stuff. And it's just it just keeps getting worse and worse by the day. Not just obviously for Kobe and his family, but all involved there is it's tragic across the board. And unfortunately, nothing that they find is going to be able to undo this mess. But it is the best we can do at this point is, try to get back to some competitive basketball, which I know a lot of those guys that have known Kobe had said, listen, the best thing, he would have wanted us all to get back on the court. He would have wanted us all to get back as soon as possible and let everything else worry about itself. So I do say this, though. It would be and I didn't look at the numbers yet, but I got to think the future price on the Lakers at this point moving forward, there is going to be a run on that, Dr. Chuck. If I'm not mistaken, it was plus 350, plus 325. I got to believe LeBron he's already, you don't have to motivate LeBron for anything. I got to believe LeBron is, taking this to heart, and he truly is going out there on a totally different level after this.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, just give LeBron motivation like he had when he came back to Cleveland and wanted to do or die, bring a title back here. And so, yeah, I mean, he's not going to be denied, I have a feeling. Now, I mean, other things can happen because the team in the same city as him is pretty damn good as well. But I I think that as the season goes on, LeBron gets better, and I think that there's just going to be just an insane motivation that once he starts to get close and tasted, I think if you're going to want to get that quicker than earlier than later, obviously.
Yeah,
as far as
exactly.
it'll drop. It's going to drop and then drop, and then he might even have incentive now, which isn't his MO, to get the 1 seed.
Yeah, and Ski, I mean, when you think about it, too, I mean, all of this talk here when he came to the Lakers and what a year it has been, right, that you'll never be Kobe, you'll never be mad, you're not a real Laker. If he wins this championship this year, you want to talk about a complete turnaround. All of a sudden now he, winning it for Kobe and along that narrative, he'll never leave. L.A. will embrace him like we may never have seen any other athlete, even Kobe for that matter, be embraced.
I agree. And I think, they should do it. In my opinion, they have to do it. LeBron, the last tweet from Kobe is passing the torch to LeBron. So LeBron said he's going to carry it on. I expect a full effort.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to give our best here to make it a profitable, Tuesday night here, despite Tony's picks. But Tony, once again, I want to give you credit. There were some sawbucks. There was some trash being talked in the chat room yesterday. Unfortunately, you gave us the Jazz. Ski was talking Houston, and you talked us all out of it. But that's okay. We won't mention it. We'll move on. At least that's the way I remember it, Ski. Something along those. The guys in the chat room, I'm sure they'll back us up here. So we'll move on to today's games. Why don't we? Real quick, by the way, you see the codes. Dr. Chuck there. His code is Chuck29. You're going to get 3 days access, $29. Every one of his plays for 3 days for $29 at SportsMemo. While you're there, Rob Vino also get a full 7 days using that code Vino59. $59. You get 7 days, 7 full days there of Rob and Dr. Chuck over at sportsmemo.com. So, guys, let's take a look here. Interesting card tonight from the standpoint of scheduling. And what do I mean by scheduling? We'll start. How about Boston and Miami? Miami yesterday, we were all kind of agreeing that they weren't going anywhere. Orlando was coming in. They were on the end of a back-to-back, and it was 6, and we weren't sure who was playing. Nunn sits, Butler plays, Dragic plays. Voila, kind of an easy win and cover for them last night. At home tonight against the Celtics. And Tony, it opened up as a small home favorite, -2. I'm seeing -1. The total getting pushed up, though, from 216.5 to 219. Again, we got to monitor who the hell is playing here tonight. Now, will Jimmy play a second night? Will he not? How are you approaching this game here between the Celtics and the Heat?
I'm not approaching it. I did play Miami last. That was one of my releases. Was Miami yesterday, and everything points to Boston. They're sluggish. They seem to be asleep for half of a game. We saw it last week. They are experiencing a few aches and pains, a few bumps and bruises. But I can't listen unless I'm going to play Miami at home and fade Boston. That would be the only way I'd play this, and I'm just not going to do it tonight. I had Miami last night. I'm just not going to do it. I'm passing.
You're going to pass over there. Yeah. So, Doc, talk to us here, man. What are you looking at here tonight in this game? Do you trust Miami at the back end of this?
So I had a 5% play last night on the Heat first half. Just a lot of factors coming together. I didn't buy for a second. I had read a statement from Jimmy Butler that he wasn't really hurt. He just kind of left that game and, looking forward to the future. And I just didn't buy for a second that in the wake of this information with Kobe that he wasn't going to come out. And the Magic had that long West Coast road trip, got back home, and then just laid 3 eggs, and they got worse each time. And so I really like that Heat performance. And it was even better than I thought because, kind of like you said, what are we going to get? Who are we going to get all the way through? Things like that. And they kind of just, piled it on as it went on. And I can't trust Boston at all. So, Tony always recommends, take heed when you're going to go against the Celtics. But Celtics aren't very good on short spreads. And I know that I think, what is it, 1 now?
Yep, down to 1.
And so, I don't like – so basically we're picking a winner here. And I think Butler's playing again. None I don't think is playing again, but I think Dragic is too. And I'm pretty sure Tatum, they haven't said he's out, but I think he's out. and I'd be Heat or pass for sure.
All right, Heat or pass over there. Ski, talk to us here, man. How you looking at this game? Were you on the Heat last night?
I was not on the Heat last night. Looking at this game, I kind of agree with Doc's injury information. I don't think Tatum plays. He's been sitting out the past few games. I don't think he gives it a go here. I think Nunn is out. And Jimmy, that's the question mark. I think it's a lot of... If Jimmy's in, I mean, it's a Miami Heat smash. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right, Joe?
Amen.
And last 5 games, if I look at it, the offense has been better for Miami. They've been a better rebounding team, so... They're at the house. It'll be Miami or pass for me.
The only questionable is Nunn. Bam is playing.
Yeah.
Butler and Dragic are listed as active as we speak. So
I'll tell you this: Chris Paul was listed as active yesterday.
yeah,
And what did he do?
Yeah.
So I you never know.
right. That's a good point. Jason Tatum listed as doubtful. Cantor out. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown active in this one here, Rob. So how are you approaching this game in Miami, where they are now 21-2?
Yeah, well, generally we repeat those 2 home trends for Miami, Joe. So why don't we just update them? 16-6 with a push against the spread at home, 15-8 over the total at home. Boston very good on the road, 13-8-1 against the spread on the road. But the Jason Tatum subtraction from this team really bothers me. He plays a position where they're not really that deep. And if you compound that with the subtraction of Enes Kanter from the lineup, you got 2 power forwards. Kanter, I guess you could say, slash center. But they're both scorers. They're both rebounders. They both play good defense. And in that position, there's not a lot left for the Boston Celtics. Miami's only 2-5 against the spread in back-to-backs. So that's, a little bit bothersome as well. Not really a lot of ways to turn here. I guess if you just want to blindly go bet something mechanically, you play the Heat at home. You can't really play the over here because Boston's been trending towards under. 3 straight unders last 3 games, and then 8-14 under on the road this season. Hey, the reason for the uptick in the total is obviously because all the Miami guys are going to play with the exception of Nunn now. So I'm going to let this one go, Joe. Just no way. A lot of contradicting arguments on both sides.
And by the way, big shout out to you guys in the chat room. We do seem to have, we got some Boston love going on there, some Heat love. Jonathan Ramirez, Damian Dozier. We've got our usual Timothy Kelly, as well as Square 707. And, of course, Shedrick Bryan hanging out. Welcome in, guys. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you for stopping by. It is kind of a toss-up depending on which way you are looking at this game. So we'll give you one. It's a little bit easier because I already know where the doc is going here. Why don't we look at the Golden State Warriors? GS taking on the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. Opens up as a 12.5. I'm seeing a lot of 12s across the board here for Philadelphia. Golden State, the total, 212.5. I'm seeing 213.5. So, Doc, why don't we just get your ass-sucking out of the way? So, who you like in this game? Actually, I know who you like. You got anything else?
You know who I like? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if I like the Sixers to win the game. I wouldn't lay the 12.
Oh, wow. Dude, you're not a real fan. That's just all I'm saying. Go ahead. What else you got? Yep, that's just terrible.
That's it. How often am I laying a big spread with the Sixers at home? So they will win this game, and they will probably be up for. This is one of those games where you hold your nose and you take the Warriors, and they're down 16-18 for a lot of the game and lose by 8.
Yep. I'm feeling like here's the fence, and this is you're just hovering on top of it. All right. So usually it's all we get from you is and by the way, Embiid is questionable. Have you heard anything otherwise, Tony? Have you heard anything?
He is.
No.
They upgraded him to questionable.
Are we keeping you up, Finn? Are you all right? You all right? Are you sure? You okay? You need anything? Just let us know.
I've been up all night, but I'm
okay.
Not
a problem. Not a problem. Just wanted. All right, just asking for a friend. So where are you going to go here? Is it Philly? You're not back in Philly, so you're a terrible fan. Terrible.
A terrible fan.
I'm just saying.
12.
My team, I'd back him regardless. I'm just saying.
Oh, would you?
Oh, we know you, Joe.
I didn't hear you hammer the Heat there, Joe. That was.
Shit, Eagles ain't around yet. You wait and find out.
I'm sorry, we're getting around where you think the Knicks are going to hammer the Hornets. That's right. We'll get to that later.
By the way, Embiid, we're being told after the All-Star break, so
he's not. So
yeah.
While I am intrigued by Ski saying, "Hey, Chris Paul was inactive ended up being active and didn't play." Jimmy Butler, I think, is a different animal, and he's playing. Joel Embiid, I love Joel Embiid, but I'm an objective person, and while I am not going to rag on him as much, he's not the guy that hurries back.
You don't like the total either? You think the total is right around that number, 213 and a half?
Yeah, that it was within like a point or two of what I thought it would be, and ticked up a little bit. And I will be. So if I had to make a play on this without jumping on the fence, since you hate the fence, I would be over or pass. I think this squeaks over into the higher two teens, but I don't think it's worth a bunch of risk, considering that you just don't know what you're going to get from the Sixers at the second half of a game. What bothers me about my team is they're coming into this game thinking that they have the win already. No Richardson, no Embiid,
right?
And it's not the kind of effort I like in the second half they give.
Tony, talk to me, man. You like the total more, or you're not a man who is oftentimes afraid to lay double digits if you think the team is that much better? And
I'm passing on this game as well. There's nothing about this game that excites me. There's no edge that I find. Embiid, questionable, Richardson out. Golden State. Listen, Golden State can win this game straight up. They can win this game straight up. If they come play like they come play and they hit their listen, if they hit shots from beyond the arc, I promise you, if they make 10 3-pointers tonight, they can beat Philly. But they only show up once every 10 games, or they get and they win big or they get blown out. You guys, we've talked about this team. We've talked about this team. It is not a team that I don't think they're a smart investment. If you had inside information that Curry and Thompson were back that night, I still wouldn't play them.
Not happy with it. All right, Ski, talk to me, man. You got any faith, maybe first half in this in Philly getting the job done here, or what? What do you think? Are you worried like they are that this could be an upset in the making?
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in Philly getting a big win by more than 12, 13 points.
Yeah, yep.
That's a lot of points for them. They're 7-11 against the spread versus lesser competition, 45% win teams or less. You kind of mentioned it, I think, Joe. You said they got up for the Lakers, but will they get up for this game? I don't think so. And Golden State, I just think it's too big of a number. I'd have to roll with Golden State or nothing.
Love that. All right, Rob, talk to us here, man. Voice of reason here. Is it just too risky, or is there some value in backing the dog here?
Well, we talked a lot about Joel Embiid's absence, but Josh Richardson's absence probably as important to the Philadelphia 76ers, who don't have an abundance of shooters to begin with. So not having Josh Richardson certainly, I think, hurts that team offensively. However, these games are all about matchups, Joe. And when you look at Golden State and what they've done the last couple of games, going to Marquise Chris at center, 6'8" center, and backing him up with Amari Spellman, a 6'9" center, the lane's going to be open all night long. If Ben Simmons doesn't go for 30-plus driving to the basket here tonight, I'd be amazed. So Philadelphia's not going to be afraid to attack. That kind of takes away that three-point shooting component. They don't have to shoot it real well to score well in this game. And where that's, to combine with that, Golden State's gone over in 4 of the last 5, and they've really started to speed it up a little bit with this offense. D'Angelo Russell, obviously the spark that leads the engine here. But they've had other guys, Alec Burks and whatnot, contribute here. It's a cross-country trip, but they've had some time off. I'm tempted to play this thing over 213.5. I just think Philadelphia won't give the concerted defensive effort that they've given, against the better teams that they've played the last 9 games. One last thing here real quick. They're 7-2 to the under without Embiid since he's been hurt. And the only team that they've gone over with is the Brooklyn Nets. They went over the total twice with them. Golden State kind of is similar to what Brooklyn is, so maybe over 213.5 works here.
Guys, don't forget to sportsmemo.com. You can see the codes there on both Dr. Chuck and Rob there. Code Vino59, 7 days. Every play he's got, 7 days, $59. Dr. Chuck, get the next 3 days here. Chuck 29 for just $29 over at sportsmemo.com. All right, guys, back to the board here. This is a game that saw a lot of action early on, and I can't wait to hear. And Ski, I'm going to start with you, brother. The New York Knicks taking on the Charlotte Hornets here tonight. And again, this is a game that saw a lot of movement early this morning. Two teams that you're going to have to drink an awful lot to sit in front of the TV and watch this game here. But you're looking Charlotte losing their last 8 games. The line opened up as the Hornets as a short 1.5-point home favorite. It was pushed up a little bit during the morning hours. I'm still seeing 1.5, even a couple of 2s out there. So the Knicks coming off that win against Brooklyn on Sunday. Do you trust the Knicks on the road here to make it 2 in a row?
If I had to choose, it would be the Knicks. Knicks have been playing well lately. They've covered their last 5 games. And the reason they've been covering is they've been playing defense. They're the 4th defensive rated team over that 5-game span. And looking at both of these teams from a total perspective, they both play extremely slow. Knicks are the slowest pace in the league over the last 5, and Charlotte is 3rd slowest. I already talked about New York's defense. I trust Charlotte's defense more than their offense right now, so I think it'll be more of a lower scoring game. Probably you can get the first half and the full game.
Oh, first half and yes, first half. Look at Dr. Chuck. Just you got it perked up over there, and talk to us here, Dr. Chuck. First half, Charlotte. It's got you written all over it.
Well, so not as much. I wanted to find, to be honest, I did want to find a reason.
There's that fence again. There's that fence again. Yep, there it is.
Well, I wanted to find a reason, and there just wasn't a reason because I don't know if I like the whole coming back from Paris, lots of rest. I mean, so it's weird to say that like they've had 3 full days off is a lot of rest, but it is in the middle of a season. That's pretty rare. And so 210, we don't talk a lot about how to dive into the totals and stuff like that, but 210 is the number I use. The game has changed. It's completely different since Steve Kerr and Steph Curry got together, and everything changed with the Rockets and just the game in general. And 210 is the number I use as kind of the deciding factor where Vegas is nervous. And just going back a month, there's only been 17 times that they've hung the total under 210, and it's gone under 13 of them. And that's where you're at here. It already started at 210. You're getting 209 now. You might not even be able to get 209. I got in as quickly as I could with this game just because I don't trust the Knicks, period. I do like the Hornets on defense, and I don't know, if Mike Miller's defense is going to be great today, but I don't know if it matters against the Hornets. I like Devontae Graham and some of the pieces they have there, but this feels like a game nobody gets to 100, honestly.
Oh, all right, Tony, talk to me, man. Are you of that same opinion that they're going to struggle to score points here?
No, I'm not.
Side bet. I'm smelling it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I like this total. There's value in this total and going north of the north of the odds makers numbers, not south. Like
so
over.
Is there a sawbuck in this here? Because I feel like that's kind of a put your money where your mouth is kind of thing here. What do you doing?
I'm in.
You're in? What do you think there? Talk to us there, Dr. Chuck. You in here, brother, man? Because he's calling you out saying you don't know what you're talking about. Your numbers, 210, yada, yada. You're going north. He's going south. What's going on?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. I mean, there's a reason that Vegas puts these type of numbers up. There's been 330 games since Christmas.
Don't be making numbers up. Don't be making numbers up. All right.
There's only one reason.
Put the number out there.
There's been about 340 games.
Okay.
340
There's
games.
only one reason that Vegas puts the number out.
Talk to us, Finn. Talk to us. You're not buying.
There's only one reason that Vegas puts the number out, and that is to limit their liability. They think that this is the number that we're going to get even money on both sides. That's why they put the number out there. I'm not trying to say that's the only reason, but that is the reason.
I agree that is the reason, but that's the reason they do it every time.
Oh,
exactly, every time.
The other 17 times as well.
We got a side bet going on here, so just to be clear here, Tony, you're going up over 209, and Doc, you think it's going to be you barely think it's going to get to that if it gets to it at all.
I'll just make it 210.
210, done. Over 210, get it, side bet, mark it down in the chat room here, guys. There's somebody going to be getting some ass bucks tomorrow. Rob Vino, talk to us here, brother, man. Help us out, man. Be the deciding factor here. Who do you side with in this one?
Yeah, no, I want to take a second here just to validate what both of those guys are saying. Where Chuck's concerned, he's absolutely right that, you just don't see totals this low. And where Tony's concerned, Joe, if I could correlate it best, I'll correlate it to college football. You get a college football game where they hang a 44.5 total, and it's two good defensive teams. And the last 5 years, I say to myself, shit, they could get over 44.5 by mistake in a college football game anymore, and you could get over 210 by mistake in a NBA game at this point in time. So I could see where Tony's coming from. I could see where Chuck's coming from. I'll say this, the recent form would indicate under. The Knicks are 6-1 to the under their last 7 games. Charlotte's been a underplay over the course of their last 5. They played one game this year. That game stayed under the total, 103-102, I think it was. But, I would be fearful of playing under just because in today's NBA, you get stuff that gets over. This thing's been bet down to 208.5 now as we speak, right? So, I think you can make that by mistake in a lot of instances. I see both guys' points.
Oh, I love that. It looks like, Finn, there's an island, and there's you, like, out there by yourself, man. I'm just saying, Rob just threw you right under the bus. I'm just going to point it out. That's all.
You know what? I've survived plenty of buses.
Yes,
I'll live.
Yep. And
Did you hear it that way, Tone?
Rob,
Castaway.
No, I didn't hear it that way.
I'm looking at the. I kind of heard it that way. I heard Utah, but I actually heard over. So we'll move on to the next game over here. Let's go, guys, to Zion number 4. Here it is, the Zion Express game number 4 for him tonight in Cleveland. Cleveland, a pick that we had here on the show yesterday. We loved Cleveland. Not quite sure, Rob. We took Ski. We took a page out of your book. The hell no, Detroit laying 6.5, 7.5 points at home. Like, what are you, nuts? So we did back Cleveland yesterday. They won rather convincingly on the road. They're back home tonight, welcoming in Zion. It is opened up at 6.5 for the Pelicans on the road. It is now 9.5, fellas. 233 is the number. I'm seeing 233, 232.5. So, Ski, I'll start with you, man. Cavs were impressive last night here. Are we overvaluing the crap out of Zion on his first real road experience here?
I don't know if it's overvaluing. I just think they look at the Cavaliers. I mean, Cavaliers are not going to have Darius Garland. Porter Jr. is questionable. They just played last night. I just think that's why what they're looking at and why the numbers where it's at. We saw New Orleans play a little bit of a better game their last time out. They were playing good before Zion got there. I think they can keep it going. I agree with the line move. I'm not running to the window to lay double digits though, but I would not be back in Cleveland in this spot. And I would look towards an over. I probably would want Garland and Porter Jr. in though, but it's the only way I would look on the total in this game. So New Orleans or over.
It's interesting, too, there, Rob. The under 8-3 in the last 11 between these two teams. I don't mind backing the Pelicans. I think they're going to go ahead and score some points. But do you trust Cleveland to do their part in this on the back end of a doubleheader here?
The audacity of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Joe, to use load management for a first-year guard, Darius Garland. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
this team stinks, and they're on to load management already. Porter Jr. played last night. Whether or not he can play on back-to-backs is the question here. We'll see. He's just coming off injury, and if not Darius Garland, it'll be Dante Exum. It's kind of the same player. I don't know that it affects what goes on offensively or defensively where the Cavaliers are concerned. But the Cavaliers are 11-3 over the total. Their last 14, they've allowed 6 of the last 8 opponents to shoot over 50.6%. That's miserable. 10 times in the last 14 games, this team's given up 112 plus. So New Orleans is going to get theirs. And this team is just ready for a breakout. It's a team that's highly motivated. It's a team that's highly confident. And, if you got the 6.5 this morning, congratulations, because you got the best of the number. At 6.5, you would play New Orleans, and then you'd go back and play them again. But now at 9 points, I agree with Ski. You can't race to the window to figure New Orleans will win by double digits. They can. There's no saying they can't. But I'm just not, that quick to get there with that. If you play anything here, I think you potentially play over the number. I could see New Orleans getting to about 125 in this game.
All right, talk to us here, there, Mr. Finn. What do you like in this game, Tony? Are you thinking over? Are you thinking this is an easy one? It's a double-digit win for the Pelicans.
Well, I think this is another game on the board tonight where I think there's substantial value going north of the total for many reasons. Rob mentioned a few stats. And if I'm not mistaken, Cleveland. Well, here's really the real reason I like it too is that there's Coach B. If you remember the last road trip they went on, guys, he said, "I'm short in the bench. I'm short in the bench. I'm going to give my first rotation big minutes," and he did. They went to I think they went to Philly or they went so I can't remember. They went. Secondly, they went to Denver at altitude and beat Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they went first. They went first to Detroit. Everybody, the starting five averaged 38 minutes. They went to Denver. They all averaged 35 minutes. Then they went out to L.A. for Staples Center. I think they had two there. One obviously against the Lakers, one against the Clippers. And when they got to the Clippers, they played the Lakers. When they got to the Clippers, Love sat because that's the most minutes he's played in forever in three straight games. But as soon as they got to the end of that trip, he backed off that short bench. And if you look last night, guys, they had 10 players played double-digit minutes, which is a first for them in quite a while. And from my understanding, my source there, my intel, is that Boeheim was just trying to motivate the guys, to get them together, some cohesiveness, and you liked them last night. Joe, you liked them. They played. Detroit's been scoring a lot of points lately, and Cleveland held them to what was it, 115, 110, something like that?
Yeah.
That was the final list?
Yeah, 115, 100, right?
Yep.
115, 100, okay. And if you look at their numbers on the second leg of a back-to-back, they're still scoring, they're still fresh, and I think they're 4-1 to the over on the second leg of the back-to-back. I like this over.
He's going over. I mean, Dr. Chuck, talk to us. He trusts Cleveland to get it done. We obviously think the Pelicans are going to get it done as far as points go. Is it an easy over here at your point? Are we in the 240s?
That's not where I looked, but I wouldn't be going under. I really liked, and you guys liked the Cavs. I liked the Cavs yesterday as well. I didn't understand that line. Ski brought up a good point, though. I mean, we're thinking it's pretty crazy for the Pistons to have that line at home last night. What would the line be in New Orleans tonight with this? I guess it'd be a Bucks line, which is pretty crazy if you're considering that the Cavaliers are at home now, even though they're out on rest. I mean, that's just a ton of points. So I liked the first half, which, I mean, you had to get on that quick as well. But as soon as the Cavs were, looking like they were going to win that game, I sure didn't think that it was going to go well tonight. And I mean, it probably is going to be a lot of defense, and the Cavs don't run at the pace, that Alvin Gentry runs his team at, but I have a feeling the Pelicans are going to dictate that tonight, which is one of the reasons I would probably go over. But I would go Pelicans first half. I'm not sure what you're going to get from the Cavs to begin with, and then I don't know where they go from there if they get down big, as well as, Zion looks pretty good especially if it finds his right spots, and then he's going to be on the minutes restriction as well, and I kind of like him because of that. But the Pelicans are completely healthy too. Nobody on the injured report, and Cavs are doing load management like Rob said, et cetera. And I just think this game could get out of hand, and I think early.
All right, let me ask you guys.
And
also,
I'm wrong.
I want to ask you guys in the chat room too, because the number is posted. Zion prop is 18.5 total points. Tony, is it ridiculous not to hit the over here and put a couple of bucks on the Zion over 18.5 points?
He's been averaging a point a minute in his limited minutes. So
yes, he's about 19 points a minute. So
right, I'd be on the over that, and I was wrong. They're in the second leg of a back-to-back. Cleveland
6-2.
6-2.
Okay. Yeah,
I was wrong.
His matchup tonight would be Kevin Love, guys.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah,
Which
I'm
lends
707 also same situation there. They're also going Zion with the over in the prop 18.5. I'm looking at it now, and he averages 19 in his first three, and he's averaging a little less than 20 minutes a game. So it's also 20.5 points plus assists. I could also see that being a pretty good prop bet as well tonight. All right, let's
10
move on.
layups.
10
layups against Love.
Here's a game I love, guys. I don't know. Get your thoughts on this one. How about the Denver Nuggets taking on the Memphis Grizzlies? Now, we've talked about Memphis here. This game opened up as a pick 'em. Or really Memphis laying 1. It switched to Denver early this morning. They were getting some love. It seems to have swung back the other way. Memphis getting an awful lot of love here. The problem I have with Memphis is that since January 4th, they haven't beat a team with a winning record. And Denver has been really good on the road as of late. And I don't know. I mean, Memphis is really good at beating the mediocre and less than mediocre teams. Not so great when it comes to beating the upper echelon here. And Ski, I'll start with you. It's virtually a pick 'em. The total is down a little bit from 226. Do you trust Memphis in this spot here at home?
It's tough because when I look at it, I want to trust Memphis. I want to say they've won 9 out of their last 11 games, and you're just asking them to win straight up. Or I'm sorry, they've won 8 of their last 9 at the house. Denver, despite the players being hurt, they're still playing good basketball. And when I look at last 5 game stats, they've been better offensively than Memphis. They've been better rebounding the ball. So it's a little bit tough. Kind of split both ways. On the total, though, I do think Memphis, like we've said time and time again, Memphis forces anybody to play at their pace. We know they want to play fast. I think it could be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, Nuggets 4-1 against the number in their last 5, playing on 1 day's rest here. The better road team. They are definitely considered one of the better teams here. So, talk to me here, Tony Finn. Do you trust Denver to be able to get this done on the road?
Well, we didn't. We talked about them. What night was it? Was it Monday or? I guess, we were talking about Denver being ailing. That some of their primary contributors weren't going to be playing. Well, the injuries that Denver have suffered, and this I'm forecasting, but this team's going to be better. Because of it. They're still winning. They're scoring. This second rotation or these injuries have put more points, have put more offense. They're playing at a faster pace than they do with their primary 5. And again, they're not getting a whole lot of love, are they, against the Memphis team? That listen, I put Memphis. I like Memphis. I like their young talent. I like that core of Jaren Jackson, Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark. I like all of it. I like what they have going. However, they're like Orlando. Orlando's won 21 games, guys. 21 and 27. And of the 21 games they've won, and I had to throw this in because doctor's in the house, okay? Of the 21 games they've won, they've won 5 games against teams that are projected to be playoff teams. 5 out of 21.
Yep.
And one of those teams, they beat them twice, and that's Philadelphia.
Yep.
Listen, Orlando is a good team against another just good team.
Right.
They can't beat the elite teams. Orlando can't beat the elite teams. Memphis has a lot of growing to do. You cannot fade Denver here. You either fade Denver or you pass.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. That scares me. They've been great. And Doc, go ahead, my man. Denver, they're really starting to play. I think we got back-to-back double-doubles or triple-doubles there from Jokic. This seems to be exactly the spot that Denver, will show that it is just a cut above what Memphis is doing right now.
Yeah, similar to what Ski said. Obviously, I made a pretty bad play last week with the head-to-head with Ski, obviously, which I think Memphis.
Yeah, you sucked. You definitely sucked. Yes.
I think did the Celtics just score again? Did they win by?
I think they did. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that I was backing Memphis is, they had become the Hornets. They're constantly getting too much value. But yeah, it's like you said, Joe. It's kind of flipped here. They're favored against the Nuggets, and it's kind of hard to swallow. It's interesting because it's actually expanding with a little bit more. I think 2 out of 3 tickets around the Nuggets and the Grizzlies line is expanding, which kind of baffles me even more. So I've laid off a little bit, but yeah, I would. Tony said you cannot bet the Grizzlies. You must be Nuggets or pass, and I actually agree. Who would have thought that a team with the Nuggets record, I guess because of injuries or because the Grizzlies are hot or because John Morant is talking point, they're now.
Doctor, you guys were talking about it. Coming in last week, they were 9-1 straight up at home.
Yep.
They were 9-1 straight up at home. And I don't know what they were against the spread, but they were really good coming up to last week.
Yeah. And by the way, Denver's only lost 1 road game since January 4th. 1. So,
it was probably Houston, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly. And so this is it's an interesting spot, Rob. I mean, where do you go with this here? Do you look at the total, or are you happy backing one of these two teams?
It's hard because, I talked a lot about Memphis totals over the course of the last 3.5 weeks, and where it is right now, Joe, it's been bet down so far that it's kind of in the range where you want to go ahead and be part of the take back at 223.5. Denver is 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. They've played 10 straight games now where they haven't shot 49% from the field. So they're not shooting the ball well. Memphis on the other side is 6-1 to the under, and we kind of laid out why they've been playing towards the under because the numbers got too high. Listen, they just played a month ago, these two teams, on the 28th. A forgotten man in all of this that's on that injured list, along with Millsap and Jamal Murray, is Plumlee. And Plumlee and Murray combined for 30 points in that game a month ago, and that game hit 229. So you're missing some key components. But then you know what, Joe? I could contradict myself and make another argument and say that Denver is still 8 deep. This really shows off Denver's depth, to tell you the truth. When they have all these guys on the injured list, and you can still go 8 deep with Michael Porter Jr. now contributing, with Malik Beasley, guys like that Monte Morris that come off the bench and score. I really have an urge to go ahead and play a little of this take back at 223.5. I just think Memphis plays at the fast pace. Denver probably goes with them here. They don't have much in the middle to stop Memphis from penetrating to the rim. So, I don't know. It's a weak lean, but I would say over the 223.5.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Will they go ahead, Scott? I mean, will Denver impose their will? Will they dictate what happens, certainly from a pace perspective in this game? What do you got, Ski?
Just a couple of points.
Sure.
He talked about Denver. They've had these injuries in the past couple of games. They've still been putting up points. They put up, 117? They put up 113, so they've still been putting up points. And, Joe, I got to fire back at you. You want to talk about who Memphis has played and how Denver's played on the road. Who has Denver played on the road? The Wizards, the Hawks, the Cavs, T-Wolves, Golden State, nobody.
Yep, absolutely.
The Saints, your team.
Yep.
And it falls into line, Joe, because what Ski's pointing out there, the last two games, Denver putting up points, they're against, average to below average defensive teams, Houston and New Orleans. Yep. And you have another one in line here with Memphis. So maybe, like I say, a lean toward the over.
I think it's definitely a good litmus test for these two teams. I think this is going to be actually one of the more the fun games to watch here on the card tonight. We got one left here, guys, that we'll go over. The other ones are in double digits, and who cares? But it is a back-to-back situation. Dallas Mavericks here, guys, laying 6 at home, taking on the Phoenix Suns here. So Luka Doncic, what can you say? I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, from a health perspective, I want to say that Porzingis is questionable. Doncic is probable. And as far as Ricky Rubio goes, they have him listed as probable. So, where do you go here with this game? And I'll start with you here, Doc. It is Dallas. I'm seeing it, 6.5 still. Right around 6. The total coming down a little bit from 229 to 227. It is a little back-to-backage, but this could very well be a team that is still on Ski's hell no backing list, that being the Phoenix Suns. But where are you leaning in this one?
So the Suns are completely off my hell no list, and that's I don't like fading the Mavs because it seems to burn me, but this line and situation is just completely Suns are pass for me. I'm probably going to stay off of this. I think it's going, it's going the way that I thought it would go. Looks like it's, got 40 points more of the money than the tickets on the Suns, and so I kind of thought that's how it would go because that's really the only way that the money should go. There's no public Joe that's going to hold a Suns ticket tonight against Luka, but I think you've got to go Suns, and then I guess hold your nose.
Yeah. Well, hold your ass, because the fence you're straddling here today on this show is just absolutely amazing. Ski, maybe I can get you to shit or get off the pot here, please. What do you like here, man? Is it Dallas or not? Where are we going here?
Looking at my number, as far as last 5 game stats, It says that Phoenix should have the advantage. And looking at Dallas, I mean, I don't think Porzingis should go. I don't think they should rush him back. He's had a history of injuries. And Porzingis, Luka, I'm not quite sure he goes today either. I think I would have to roll with taking the points with Phoenix. I think it's too many points. I know I say hell no Suns, but the way my numbers, I just have to trust my numbers and take the points with the Suns. I think it's not a good spot for Dallas.
Wow. Wow,
So,
you're taking them. Wow.
When we start the show tomorrow,
Yes.
it's going to be like Pulp Fiction. I'm going to put, just on my screen, I'm just going to put the definition of offense.
No. Listen, first of all, you even being that presumptuous to think you're on the show tomorrow is hilarious. But let's go to Tony Finn. We'll actually bet on that afterwards as well. Tony Finn, talk to me here, brother. Listen, Ski's been about hell no for Phoenix for a while.
Ski owes me.
Come on,
he owes me.
Talk to me.
Sawbuck. So how many points do you need? You need 50, 60 points? What do you need?
What do you mean?
What do you
like Dallas?
How many points do you need? You like Phoenix?
I'm not betting Phoenix. It's crazy.
It's Phoenix or nothing, he said. Phoenix or nothing.
It's still the hell no Suns for me. It's just I'm not going the other way.
What's the number right now on this game?
6.
I'll give you 10.
Oh,
take it.
No.
Take it.
Take it.
Take 10.
Take it.
Wow. Well then, if you won't take 10, if you won't take 10, then you should be on Dallas tonight.
Wow.
I just won't take it simply because
the last time these two teams met, if I'm not mistaken, Luka, Hardaway, Curry scored 80 points between the three. They dominated the backcourt of Phoenix. They will do it again tonight at home.
Doc, what are
You're
you
not going to get me on the Suns, Tony.
I will say one thing. I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to speak for Ski here, but I definitely want Rubio in. If there's going to be any kind of,
it looks like he's in. Yeah, he's probable. So it looks like he's good to go. He's
Rubio won't be able to keep up, but he'll be there.
All right. So it's are you still on that fence? You're going to go? You're going to take the 10 points side bet there?
I'm hell no Suns. So if I have to bet it, I'm picking the Suns, but I don't have to bet.
Where are you going? Are you taking the side bet 10 points?
10 points, hell yeah.
All right, I'm with Doc. I'm taking it. Your ass is on, Finn. I got you over there. I'll take 10 points all day long. You're gonna kick Belichick's ass. All right.
I'll bring the dollar bills.
He's
so you
gonna
guys
pull some sort of testicular groin injury that's gonna happen here tonight. Talk to us, Rob Vino. Save us here from ourselves. Who do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, I think that the point that Chuck brought up last was the one that got me to scratch the game early this morning, because early this morning Ricky Rubio was listed as questionable, and I don't play the Suns without Ricky Rubio. Said it before, they don't have a true playmaker in his world behind
Devin Booker,
him.
You're right. Devin Booker is not as good without Rubio.
And Devin Booker, you know what, guys? It's not the same as Utah, where they lost their point and Donovan Mitchell went back to the point from shooting guard, and they went 11-1 against the spread the next 12 games. Devin Booker isn't the same in that regard. So if Rubio's playing, then I think Phoenix has a legitimate shot. I think he scored 21. Tony, you just had the box score up. I think he had 20 or 21 in that game. He's very important. And
he's got at least 35 in 4 of the past 5 games, so he's been on fire.
To the point that Porzingis probably doesn't go here. I believe that too. They're kind of straddling the fence with their injury report. But why would you chance it with his health here against Phoenix? I don't think they will. They haven't been as good at home against the spread as they've been on the road. Tony's been touting Dallas on the road all year long because they've been making money. Yeah. Phoenix has been good on the road, 13-8 against the number on the road. So if Ricky Rubio's in, I think he could persuade me to play a little bit of Phoenix, but without him, I can't play that team without Ricky Rubio.
All right, so Rubio hanging out there, and wait to see. I mean, he's listed as probable. We'll see what goes on. The over 4-1 of the Mavs last 5 at home against teams that pretty much suck. They're 11-5 in their last 16 as a home favorite as well. I think there's going to be some points here. If Devin Booker continues this pace, I think the over hits probably rather easily in this one, but keep an eye on the injury report. So it is best bet time here, guys, as we go around the horn, figuring out exactly. And I can't wait to see what who the Doc's getting off the fence for here in this one here, because he's pretty much just been riding that all game. So I'll start with you, Tony Finn. Talk to me. It sounds like Dallas. Is it Dallas? Where are you going?
Well, listen, I like this card tonight. There's a card. I have a sure winner or a team that's not going to lose. I take the Lakers or the Clippers, and you're safe tonight.
That's quality. Yes.
Yeah,
that's good.
Let's do this. I'm going to step out, and I'm going to. We didn't discuss this game, but I also I find value. It must be the moon tonight. It must be something going on. I like this Milwaukee and Washington over the total.
No Giannis, right?
No, I like this over the total.
No, yeah, okay.
Yep.
So you're going over the total in that game.
Yep.
You like that? So you think Washington zero defense, Milwaukee's going to score?
I think it's gonna be a fun game for both teams. Milwaukee, you give a shit, so can Washington.
You get a basket. They're going to do like their Oprah tonight. Is that what it is? You get points. We're going to
have fun tonight. All right. No one's expected to win this game.
All right.
Now.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's see here. Doc, talk to us, man. I like that. Milwaukee and the points tonight over the total. Best bet for Tony Finn. And Doc, talk to us. Who you going with?
Yeah, I mean, I guess especially with Giannis being out, it's a bummer of a game. So, right, nobody cares about this game. But it's interesting because we discussed on the show, maybe, I don't know if it was a month ago or not, but Giannis is anybody worth 5 points? I guess if there is, it's Giannis because of the name, but it's 5 points again. And it's just, wow. And it is the Wizards. It's pretty hard to back the Wizards. But 5 points is a lot of points. Can you imagine?
A number that's over 240.
Yeah, I mean...
circus.
So I'm going to go back to what Tony and I were just side betting on, and it's interesting because I'm just saying we have a side bet plus 10, and I want the 10. But I think you just gave me and Joe 10 points in a game that you might not even win.
Thank you, Doc. See, I knew this is exactly why I got to give you more time. You're on the show tomorrow, Doc. All right, you're officially on the show tomorrow. All right, way to go. Very well done.
If you're looking for a reaction, from me, I'll give it to you tomorrow when I do this. Pay me, bitch.
I will say this, though. Willie Cauley-Stein making his appearance tonight for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm just saying, Willie Cauley-Stein on the court tonight. Just saying.
Tony, are you still looking at my bottle of Weller right now?
Mm-hmm.
You're still looking at it? Okay, so.
Yeah, I got to get rid of this.
So go ahead.
I got company that's staring at it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and let the Mavs win by 20, and we'll see what we talk about tomorrow.
Ooh.
All right, so I like the Pelicans first half. And Rob actually brought it up. Well, I wanted to make one of my best bets, and it's a prop play. But Ben Simmons you can get 18.5 on rebounds and assists, and he's going into the 20s on that. That lane is going to be open, and so not only is he probably going to get a lot of the rebounds over the Spellmans and Marquise Chris, but because he already does anyway when they have a legit 7-footer. But I think when he does drive the lane, he isn't going to go for 30, and I think it feels more like a 15-15-15 type Ben Simmons type of weird game. But I mean, it doesn't have to be 30. Who cares? It just has to be 20. But it's 18.5 right now, and I think he's going to have a dozen of rebounds and assists.
All right, so you're going over on the Simmons prop there, rebounds, assists. You're expecting 20. It's at 18, and you are backing Phoenix and the Pelicans first half. Is that correct?
Pelicans first half. And then definitely still like that Hornets under. So there's another side bet for us, Tony.
All right. Well, you're taking a shit all over the place here. You didn't make any picks during the descriptions. Now all of a sudden you got 27 picks, dude. You're all over the – forget it. You're off the show tomorrow. Let's go to Ski. Talk to me, brother. What are we doing here, man? Best bets, where are you going?
I'm just going to go with the team that's playing good right now. It's a game you might not want to watch, but I'll go with the New York Knicks. They've covered their last 5. The Hornets, they've lost 8 in a row. We'll see if the New York Knicks can keep it going. Their offense has been better, defense, rebounding. We'll go with the New York Knicks.
Oh, I love it. He's going with the Knicks. I love that, Ski. All right, Rob, talk to his brother, man. Where are you going? Best bets tonight?
Yeah, I'm still reeling over the fact that Tony Finn hit us with a pay me bitch a few seconds ago. That was fantastic.
Drop. You can count on that. We're going to cut that out. That's going to be a drop.
Yeah, you might want
to. We got to get that sound effect on your board, Joe.
No, there's no FFA here.
Yeah, FFA. What the fuck?
FCC.
Do you want me to tell you what FFA stands for? You don't.
Oh,
yeah, you get me hell just for saying
that. Go ahead, Rob.
Yes.
What do you got, my man?
I'm going to go back to a game we talked about earlier, and Chuck took a prop. I'll take the game. I like the matchup better than I like Philly's recent form. I'll play Golden State, Philadelphia over 213.5. It just shapes up as a small ball type game. Philadelphia really will not need the three-pointer to score points here. Get to the foul line, they'll get to the rim. Golden State, as I mentioned earlier, has played to the over 4 of the last 5. They've been very quick, and they've had a lot of scorers as well. I just don't know that Philly will take the defensive interest in these Golden State Warriors. Not the same interest that they took in the Lakers, that they took in the Celtics, other big games during this run without Joel Embiid. So give me over 213.5 in the Golden State-Philadelphia game.
Like that, man. Like that a lot. I'm going to go shits and giggles here, guys. I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets to win this game on the road. I like them a lot, and I'm also going to back the Miami Heat at home tonight as well to get the job done. Jimmy's going to play. There's a lot going on in Miami right now. There's that place is going to be packed. The energy is crazy, and I expect Miami to show up and show out here tonight. So give me Miami and give me Denver money line shits and giggle parlay. What do you think, Tony Finn?
Man, I'm in.
You're in?
Yeah,
You're in because you weren't in last night in the hit, so I'm just wondering, are you in tonight, though, all right? Because you're lucky I don't throw Phoenix in there just to stick it to you tomorrow, all right? You're lucky. That's all I'm saying.
It's a hedge. Throw him in.
Yeah, you hedge this. All right, so we've got Dr. Chuck. Don't forget, Chuck29 code at sportsmemo.com. 3 days, $29. Rob Vino. You got Vino 59 right there, $59, 7 days, every one of his plays. Ski. Finn at WagerTalk. All the plays are up today, guys, so head over to WagerTalk.com, head over to SportsMemo.com. Big shout-out to all you guys in the chat room. Let's recognize a few of these people because they do nothing but make fun of Tony the entire time. Vitor Garcia, good to see you. Andre Ace, hi. He's giving you a shout-out. Loves you, Finn. Big shout-out. But you blow. Repo Man, what's going on? Nice to see you. Brantley's there, Square 707. Johnny Yuma, and the, let's see, where is Christian's in there. Brad Ski, always a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget, hit the like button here. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube or whatever platform you're following us. Make sure you're following these guys. And again, you know, Tony Finn, you follow him. I can't promise you what he's going to tweet late night, but it is what it is. Gentlemen, appreciate the time as always. Doc, you're still off the show tomorrow. We're going to go ahead. Tony Finn, we'll see you. Rob, we'll see you. Ski, make sure you guys get their plays are up. Thanks for spending some time with us. Guys, good luck with the plays, man. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
You leave that mail truck at home.
Yeah, Ski. Yeah.
Hey,
Rob,
bitch.
Dr. Look at that mother. I cannot. This is just awful.